So there are different types of stellar races out there in the galaxy, and many of us are derived from these races. So for example, a stellar race would be Palladians. Another example would be Andromedons and Sirians. Okay, so those are just some examples of stellar races. So I was thinking today that I typically end up in relationships with a stellar race that is not my own. So I know that I am attracted to people who are the same origin as me, but it always seems that those relationships just never seem to kind of like come together for whatever reason. And I usually end up in the long-term relationships with a person who is from an opposite stellar race. So I was thinking that perhaps in this lifetime we have maybe made contracts where we don't end up with the same people or have relationships with the same people that are from our origin. And perhaps this is a way for us to raise the consciousness of the galaxy in some way. So I just kind of wanted to like read on that real quick. So I have a female coming in here. I don't know if this is like, this almost feels like Pleiades energy coming through here. So it might just be a message where I'm getting it's a time frame. So it might not be something we signed up for when we incarnated. It's just that there is a time frame right now where certain races are consciously shifting and they have to be around more of the conscious races. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. So right now we are going to be in partnerships where possibly we are a teacher in some way to that partner around our shifts consciously around spirituality as some type of a soul agreement right now. Okay, and I'm getting with that 10 of cups. I'm even getting families around this and even having children with these people, because there's something with the, I'm hearing something about the bloodline. It's something about us elevating, I guess, their bloodline in some way consciously. It's weird because bloodline's biological, and so star races, I'm like not thinking that that's biological, you know, I'm thinking that that is energetic. So I'm not really understanding that per se. So I think it goes back to the 12-strand DNA. That's the 12-strand DNA of the original human blueprint, okay? I think that would be what the bloodline would be referencing, is the DNA blueprint. So then depending on how you are incarnating into Earth from wherever planet you're coming from, star system, then that's part of that blueprint. So we're elevating those different races through the DNA blueprint, and that's where the children and the babies are coming through with the families. Yeah, because I'm definitely seeing mother energy. So there are, it almost feels like there's new contracts coming through to have babies with these partners that might not have initially been part of our original soul contracts. But right now I am being drawn specifically to a stellar race, and I believe that they are right now consciously awakening, okay, and shifting. So they're going to be going toward the races that are more consciously awake, I guess, right now. Because it's like they're coming in to learn lessons. That's how I have felt, is that I have been surrounded by this specific group. Okay, and that is a group that I am, I guess, attracted to right now. And that attraction is because it is part of a soul agreement, okay? Some kind of a soul contract that's coming through. I'm gonna just see what other messages are coming through, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with us changing the way we think. So this certain race that I'm talking about is shifting consciously in terms of spirituality and how they see themselves in the world. They see things, they're starting to see things differently and less on a material scale, less in the 3D plane. However, they provide maybe a different stellar race with something that's more stable and comforting to them. Okay, like something where it's a resting place for them, because then they can kind of get a break from thinking so much, or from having to be on this mission where they are constantly shifting and changing and having to teach. So it's like they're a break in some way. So we're almost like attracting each other through our stellar races right now in a form where it's like opposites attract, because they bring us some type of comfort or something, and because that specific race is bringing another race comfort. Okay, so it's really interesting because I was starting to think about just who I have been attracted to in my lifetime and why I usually don't end up with the people that I would think that are more like me, why I never usually end up with them. And I think it's just because of, and it's something with the like the star systems right now, and some kind of contracts that are coming through. It just feels like it's an attraction of sorts. Like it's like an attraction, almost like a magnet, where they're attracting in some way, to help share or teach each other. So I will say that how we are attracting one another could be shifting completely differently right now. And it could be, like I said, because we have to help elevate certain races to help Earth and the galaxy in some way. But it is interesting because it does feel like there is like a block still to soul family getting near one another. Feels like there's energetic blocks of soul family getting to one another, which is really interesting. And I'm wondering if that's how we break down the blocks, is by us consciously awakening another race in some way. There's something like that that's going on that I'm not understanding, that's going on behind the scenes, where it's like we are kind of like have to do this in some way to usher in a new beginning of love. So yeah, it's very interesting. And the Arcturian energy is coming in as well. They could be the ones that are, maybe they're orchestrating this in some way, because they're supposed to be the most consciously awakened. Okay, they're supposed to be the most advanced. So they could be the ones that are helping to orchestrate this right now. So I would love to hear your feedback on this. If this resonates in any way, I'm sending you guys so much love and blessings. If you guys are interested in a reading, I'm offering those on my website at soulpath.me.